All right, welcome to the Gundam podcast. You're here with Steven, Brian, and Gabe.
What is
So,
up?
everybody.
Yeah, we were just talking about how stealthy I am at pressing the record button. So I hope everybody enjoys the late night Gundam podcast.
Oh gosh,
version 1.
got me good.
Yeah,
Got me
sorry, man. But I guess the topic for today, unfortunately, is not Super Fumina.
Damn, get wrecked.
It could be though.
Have you accepted Super Puma as your personal Lord and Savior?
Me personally not. But
There's a lot of
can,
better girls out there.
Yes, but we can talk about Japanese versus American fans.
Ooh.
I mean, I think we kind of, we touched on it a little bit, but we can definitely talk about that. So let's get things started. So Americans love violence, right?
USA.
No doubt about that. We love the violence.
So there was actually someone, actually, I thought this would be kind of fun too, because we have to mention this anyway. There was somebody who was talking on our comment section that say that they actually agree with us that, IBO is just violent, and that's kind of what sells. So let me see if I can bring that comment section really quick, because there are actually a lot of people who, there are people, let's put it that way, who actually have some questions for us that I was not able to answer.
Oh.
That's new.
Shout out to the SD.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff was actually, how do you say, there were people talking about re-rise stuff actually.
No, okay.
So, let me see here.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, there's someone trying to comment and solicit sex on one of our comment sections. That's a little weird. Didn't see that one. Yeah.
Excuse me, boys. I got a.
Yeah, of course.
That's yo.
But yeah, let me see. We have a comment from Adam Knight saying, "I'm overthinking, but the last two shots made me questionable the shots of the moon from land and space."
How so?
First, how would they rotate the moon? Because that place looked like it was destroyed, and even if they rotated the moon, you could easily see the destroyed part in the space shot. So this was the very last episode. He brought that up. So his initial first question was, do you feel weird about the moon? That is no way that the moon, or, okay, I gotta have to paraphrase a lot of what he's saying. There's no way that the moon could have been fixed. People are making theories in Gundam Re-Rise that Eldora has 2 moons. Something like that.
There's a theory because they didn't really explicit. It's hard to miss a moon. It's hard to miss 2 moons.
So there's that, and then but the big question, I guess, that he's really asking the group is, I'm interested in your opinion in mobile suit redesigns in the Build Fighter series. So what do you guys think, actually, before we get into the English and or Japanese and American fans? We can kind of talk about that for a little bit. So what do you guys think? That took me a really long time to find that comment. I'm really sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I welcome designs, honestly, because a redesign is someone else's imagination of that one suit. So, in a sense, we're getting fandom from the creators, in a way, if that makes sense. It's like
Kinda, yeah.
Creators took their own suit and did what they wanted to do with it, kind of thing. Like a more custom official.
Yeah.
Officially custom build.
Yeah, I'm personally behind mobile suit redesign. Maybe not so much it's basically just what Gundam modders have been doing for years, just and on a kind of official level, because it's in the TV production in a TV production sense, because it shows up in a show, but it's kind of like breathing new life into old designs.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we can see like so many versions of Grandpa Gundam, and then like in a sense, like in the case of like the first Gundam Build Fighters, unless you were a fan like of Gundam way back in the day, nobody would have ever heard about Perfect Gundam until the final battle in the first Gundam Build Fighters series.
Yeah,
Like,
that's.
I had
agree.
no idea that Perfect Gundam even existed until Takashi brought his out. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh.
Really, you didn't know what that was? Okay. That's
Like I didn't
fascinating.
know. It's like I didn't know it was a manga creation. I didn't know it was like it started out as like an SD design and then turned into like an actual like full 144 kit and all that kind of stuff. So in that vein, the what's it called, build divers, build fighters, and everything have taken like classic and like recent mobile suit designs and like spruced them up for like a new generation, so to speak.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Like Build Fighters actually made me like an Astray, for God's sake.
We all know how you love your Astrays.
Liking Seed is blasphemous.
It made me like a Strike Gundam.
It did.
That's for me. That's almost like an accomplishment, really.
No, I believe it. Yeah, I completely agree with everybody. I think that adding these new designs really helps to breathe new life into a lot of these older ones. People who didn't know that they existed are now fully exposed without having to go through like tons and tons of lore. They can just look at the TV and say, hey, I like that design and I want to see it in model kit form. Mm-hmm. And Bandai will certainly deliver. And then it also shows an interpretation of these designs as well. Like you have really cool stuff like, I don't know. I guess the one that always comes up at the top of my head is the Wing Gundam Fenice. I thought that was like one of the most unique designs that I'd ever for a Wing Gundam, right? Because you don't really see too many customs of a Wing Gundam. You just see people straight building Wing Gundam.
And usually gets overshadowed by the Wing Zero too. So it was a good callback to regular Wing.
Exactly. And then you also get to see really cool, super unique designs like the Core Gundam. I thought the Core Gundam was really cool. Or Gundams that just don't ever get model kits, like the Wodom Pod. Like that was never gonna get a model kit until this show. I still don't think there's like a generic Wodom Pod out. Or maybe there is. Maybe it's the older, super, super older one, but who knows? But yeah, I think that's in general how we kind of feel about it. I think Dustin might even say the same thing.
Yeah.
If Dustin were here, I know for sure he would bring on the Tryon 3.
Tryon 3, yes. Yes, lots of homages, right? Yeah.
Which I
think that would be really cool.
Which is like, if you didn't know about the Double Zeta beforehand, the Tryon 3 is probably going to be like your first exposure to it, and you're like, oh, what's this suit based off of? And then you see like the original Double Zeta, and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. So it also breeds creativity. A lot of people get a chance to think outside the box a lot, and I think that's what these shows are trying to teach. You can get these. It's just plastic, right? Like you don't have to be so rigid in how you build them. You can build whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with them. Doesn't really matter.
Gunpla is life, like what Meijin says.
Yeah. You mean freedom?
It's freedom.
Is it freedom or is it? Oh my gosh, I got it wrong. Now I gotta go watch 25 episodes again.
Yes.
Commit seppuku.
Yeah.
Commit.
It's okay. No.
Freedom.
Freedom. GU.
All right, but yeah, I think that kind of brings up that makes for a nice segue because I think American fans appreciate these new designs a little bit more, just because there's no connection to the older designs. They just see something that looks cool and they're like, I want to buy that.
Yeah.
And that's all we need, right? You know, we need
Yeah.
something with a lot of guns, a lot of swords. It doesn't need to make sense, just as long as it looks cool.
Yeah.
We'll buy it.
Granted, it's not as
Guaranteed.
violent, even though there is more weapons. This is geared more towards the younger audience, after all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Or for the older audience, you know, just stick some bosoms on there, and then bam, you got 25 units sold.
a bosom.
Why do you think we have Gundam girls now? It's
Well,
all your
Gabe.
fault.
Gabe,
Everybody's fault.
we're talking to you specifically. Just kidding.
No comment.
Ah, dang it.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it
Nah.
sells, right?
Yeah, it does.
And because of that income, you know, you guys are the people who are funding these future projects and future shows. So, you know, on behalf of all Gundam fans, thank you very much for your patronage. We really appreciate it. So,
You look forward to your continued support.
yes. Onegaishimasu.
I bowed to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
okay. Now, going back to the topic of American and Japanese fans, I can guarantee you, every American fan has at least come across this question from like an outsider looking in the Gundam. Oh,
All right.
what kind of transformer is that?
Oh, jeez.
It's fair.
Now,
Or another, or
I
if
can't-
another one I hear is that, hey, what Gundam is that? And they're looking at a Zaku, and she's like, oh, jeez. That's a really cool Gundam. Even though it's like, oh gosh. This is not
well,
a
I mean,
Gundam.
I think like at least like in recent years, you know, Gundam has just become like a catch-all term.
It has become synonymous with mecha.
Yeah.
And it's weird because not all mecha are Gundams, but Gundams are all
mecha.
mechs.
Gundams are
Yeah.
So in that vein, I can't really blame like like an American fan who was probably raised on Transformers and the like, and has never seen a Gundam before, be like, oh, I've never seen that kind of Transformer, you know, because Transformers are pretty much like the American mainstay when it comes to mecha. If you know, like us counting us out because like we know Gundam, like we've been exposed to Gundam, but outside of like Japan and whatnot, most Westerners, when they think of like giant robots, they're gonna think of like old stuff like Mech Warrior, BattleTech,
Or the newer
Transformer.
generations. So you're gonna
Yeah.
think of the Transformer movies and all that,
Yeah,
or even Terminator. I could
That
pass.
too. That too. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and even in the same vein, like the design of mecha and robots differs greatly between Western and Eastern.
Oh yeah, for sure.
designers.
Western favors more like tanky-esque looks.
Tanky, blocky, yeah.
Mhm. I don't even think they favor the bipedalness at all.
That's true.
They tend to stick to more realistic proportions and support kind of thing.
I was
Hence
thinking
why-
of something completely different when you said bipedalness. Because as soon as you said that, I was thinking, okay, I'm only saying this because, so here's my train of thought. I had just finished watching, was it like episode 20 of Evangelion, right after Eva Unit 1 eats the S2 engine. And so it's like crawling on all fours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berserk
And
mode.
so I was thinking like, oh, okay, so you're thinking like Barbados.
Kinda. I mean,
And I was like, I know that's not what you're saying.
yeah.
But
I'm
then,
thinking more of like a tank, like an Abrams tank kind of esque. Like if they're gonna make a giant robot-ish, it's gonna be on wheels or it's gonna have multiple legs kind of thing.
so
like, if you-
Baku's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ish.
if you were to show an American
Boys.
the Hidolfer, they'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty sick."
That's true. Yeah.
If you show them the Hidolfer, they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." You show them the gun thing, they're like, "The hell is that?"
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting, right? We were just talking about the custom thing that I made, and you didn't like the suit, but you liked all the armaments around it.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that too for myself, that I am more gravitated actually to the accessories and armaments of model kits than the actual suit itself.
That's Fukuda poisoning you.
What?
Fukuda.
That's Fukuda poisoning your mind.
Eh.
Because you were like on the seed, and he instilled the mind that backpacks and accessories are like the best thing you can stick on a Gundam. So,
Maybe. I mean, they are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like I like the giant guns, man.
You
I
slap
like
the
the
backpack
swords.
on the regular Gundam, it'd be really cooler.
oh, God.
Just think about.
Yeah, just think about it, man. I mean, that's what the Thunderbolt Gundam
Oh
is.
man, I wish Dustin was here because I'd be like, dude, I think the original Gundam would be so much cooler if you just slapped angel wings on it. He's gonna get so mad at me. He's probably gonna punch me the next time. I'm
Oh
scared.
man, okay.
Ah,
I'm
no.
just. Oh man, I'm just gonna clip that one part of the video
no,
out.
No. I'm gonna get killed.
And just make like a 7-hour loop for it on YouTube.
We're
Be
gonna
like,
archive.
hey Dustin, check out this video.
Check
I
out this
think it's
podcast.
Gundam related.
Oh no, Dustin! I swear, it's just a joke, bro.
Steven, you better save this video. This is Brian's
Oh
last
no.
moments on Earth. His last words were, oh man, the original Gundam would be awesome with angel wings.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We're gonna stamp that
We
on your
gotta bring this
tombstone.
up every single podcast. It's just angel wings are the
every
best. Angel wings are
podcast.
the best on
So
any
the
mobile
only
suit.
So what Gundam do we actually all agree on? It sounds like it's just Double O.
That's
That
like
we all
universe.
Yeah,
Liked?
no, that everyone that is on this podcast so far is actually in mutual agreement that we kind of like. Stanley is not a fan of Wing, and Gabe is not a fan of Seed, and
He's not a
Dustin
fan of Wing.
really doesn't like Wing.
I don't like Seed's story, but I like its suits, or I respect its suits. In all honesty, I can't even think of a Gundam I hate, but
Yeah, 'cause
Double O is my love though. It's like
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I might have to agree that Double O is like the one that we universally do not shit on.
actually, does
trying to think
anybody
of-
sit on G Gundam?
No.
I don't really like it that much.
Oh no, you're the combo breaker for that.
Heresy.
I mean, okay, so
no,
let me
you're
explain
super
to
robot
you.
for
Yeah. Let me explain to you how much I don't like G Gundam.
Oh no.
I don't like G Gundam to the point where I have all of the action figures,
Uh-oh.
have watched the entire show multiple times. I even have some of the model kits.
Uh-huh.
What I'm really trying to say is I don't hate G Gundam. I don't really not like it. It's just
You got
it's
tired
not
of it?
no, it's not even that. It's just it's not like my favorite. Like I guess like even when I was growing up watching it,
It
I
was
felt
alright.
kind of silly watching it.
Like watching Power Rangers kind of thing?
I never watched Power Rangers.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
This
I
comes
never.
from the Dragon Ball Z fan of the group.
Yeah, and I think that was why. It was because I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was much younger, and so there was nostalgia built up. But it wasn't until it was, after I was a lot older that, G Gundam came on. And so it was like, oh, cool, like I understand the references kind of thing. And like I know what they're trying to allude to, and I see this stuff and it looks kind of fun. But I mean, I was also watching it around the time when, you're in middle school and you're trying to make your way of like talking to girls, trying to learn what being
I'm
cool
past
is.
this. I
And
need to stop watching all this kid stuff.
and like I knew that being cool did not mean shouting in the playground, "This hand of mine burns with an awesome power."
But that is awesome.
Its bright cry tells me to defeat you.
Speak for
I knew
yourself, buddy.
I knew that wasn't the image I was trying to go for.
Now, wait. You said this is what, middle school? You said.
I think this was middle school for me. I think this was 2000 and I think this was like 6th grade, maybe 7th.
2000. It's be like early.
So,
2000.
so what you're saying is you didn't have Chuni syndrome.
What
He
are you
doesn't even
talking
know
about?
what Chuni's.
Oh yeah, Steven wouldn't know what a Chuni is.
I don't think so.
Was it a chunibyo? Is the
Yeah,
person who
chunibyo.
like the person
Goes
who
through a
thinks
phase.
like goes
Yeah.
through a phase, right? Okay, so I went through a phase, but my phase was like
Normal. To normal standards, not
uh,
Chunibyo status.
I mean, it wasn't. Is chunibyo at like 6th grade, 7th grade, or is it
7th grade
like
syndrome.
specifically 8th grade or
It's like
7th grade up?
middle-ish school.
Middle school
Middle
syndrome.
school.
Yeah,
So maybe so in Western terms, it's like 7th, 8th grade.
yeah.
So I would say I had a pretty big emo phase,
That's more of a normal
That's
but
esque kind of
like
phase
I didn't have like a
compared to
fantasy.
Chunibyo.
So I didn't really have a fantasy phase because the part of Dragon Ball that I really liked was like the training arcs. So like I incorporated the idea of like, you always have to
Working
be physically fit, work
Mhm.
out, and make sure that your body is ready in case of something like the Saiyans attacked. I don't know, like, or maybe some experiment goes wrong and Cell actually is real. Like, we gotta defend ourselves. Like, get my gun, or in this case,
I
like,
don't know. You
get
have
my
like
gi.
you have
right?
such a realistic like expectation from Chunibyoism though, so that's more acceptable since you're like, oh, I need to stay fit for
Yeah.
So the other bit was like we didn't have a lot of anime people
Mhm.
in middle school,
Mhm.
so I didn't really have that influence, I guess, that it was like okay, and so I could like really deep dive, not even just in school, but like in my like life. So like my parents, my cousins, the people at my church, like nobody really watched anime, knew what anime was. It was just the thing that was on TV, and if I watched too much of it, my mom would turn off the TV and say, "Do your homework," and I'd be like,
Oh no.
"But it's teaching me to work out and study," and she'd be like, "Okay, fine, 15 more minutes." So
Dragon
So,
Ball's mom.
yeah, like I remember there was this one infamous memory where we were watching Reboot on Toonami,
Oh.
and there was a smoking scene. There was the main character. I don't remember what he was, or his name, but he was green.
Yeah.
I think all of them are green. But he
Shade of
pulled
green,
out
yeah.
he pulled out a cigarette and he started smoking. My mom came in at the exact moment he started doing that, and she said, "You're not allowed to watch this show anymore." I said,
Oh, no.
"Why? They're good people." And they're like, "She's not a good person if he's smoking." And so I was never allowed to watch Reboot again. The next time I watched Reboot was 5 years later.
Oh, no.
That sounds so Asian. I'm sorry.
I don't mean to laugh.
Hey, it's okay. I mean, I still got to watch Gundam and Dragon Ball Z, and maybe that's the reason why I like Gundam and Dragon Ball Z.
Did your mom ever walk in on somebody getting murdered or something in those shows? Somebody usually dies.
Well, that was the thing. There was so much editing that happened in Toonami shows that it really wasn't like a huge deal.
Huh.
And because Gundam has that layer of separation where you're not really killing a person, you're blowing up a robot that looks like a person, but you're not seeing the dead body,
Yeah.
then it was okay, right? And then, Goku just went. Right. And then, Goku didn't die. He just went to the the afterlife, the spirit world, whatever, right?
He
That's
didn't die. He's still here. If he was
Yeah,
dead,
he's
he wouldn't be
still
here
on TV.
anymore.
right. He wouldn't be
We'd
a
have
main
a funeral
character.
and everything. Even though everybody in that show dies.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody dies. But
Everybody
Yeah,
dies
go
once.
what were you saying, Gabe?
What's up?
there's a point that I wanted to bring up. Toonami's like procedure of editing throughout, like how it progressed, like its editing practices throughout the years. Because two shows as an example, Gundam Wing and Seed.
Mm-hmm.
When Wing came on, they just replaced it's like, when Heroes cross the claim, I'll kill you. It's like, I'll destroy you. Now, same meaning,
Alright.
different context.
Mm-hmm.
And when that's seen during the second episode, when Duo, or when Hero's like trying to blow up Death Scythe and Wing, and like Duo like shoots him to stop him.
Right.
Yeah, you see the bullet impact Hero. You don't see the blood.
Yes.
And firearms are being brandished. People are getting hit by gunfire, all that kind of stuff. It was still in there if they just edited out all the gory bits.
Yeah, it was just more subtle, actually.
Yeah, it was like the intent was still and the context was still there. It just didn't have any of like the gory stuff.
Yeah. Very
Fast
true.
forward a few years to Gundam Seed. 2 words: disco guns.
I have to rewatch those, honestly.
See,
Yeah.
I know about that in Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm having a hard time remembering it in Gundam Seed.
Yeah, me
Like,
too. That's why I was like, I had to watch it.
Like, like the one thing the one scene that I remember is Andrew Walfield, and I think he's like pointing a gun at Kira, and you can tell it's like a handgun,
Mm-hmm.
but they like freaking nerfed the thing out with like orange and green highlights, a big red circle where like the barrel is to make it look like it has like an energy pack.
I think I'm gonna have to look this up, man.
Seed is much worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I think that I don't know if like 4Kids got their hands on Gundam Seed before it went to Toonami or something, but seriously, that's like the one thing that stuck out in my mind.
I need to see this. I want to see this.
I need to see
actually
this too.
I need a visual representation. So do
Oh,
our audience. Our audience
Okay.
needs to see this too.
All right, you guys
I'm
ready?
pretty sure somebody would be looking this up while they were watching this.
Gundam Seed.
Disco gun, see? See?
Disco gun.
Disco gun.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this is.
Now, can you please turn on the volume so you hear Ed and Eddie talking, please?
Okay.
Or at least double D. Or is that Ed? Is that after an Ed or is that double
Dude,
D?
I don't.
Oh my
remember
God.
anymore.
I think he's double D.
I don't remember. Okay, where's this disco?
Here.
Oh, is it because it's
See?
like different
See?
colors? Oh, he doesn't even
Lord.
cock it. Oh.
See?
Oh
See?
my God, that editing.
Slip fingers for
Oh,
fucking.
interesting.
I should
Okay.
wanna- Shoot it.
So,
Shoot it. I want to see the
Shoot
bullet.
it.
so let. All right, fine. I'll just let it play.
Give me that blaster bolt.
Oh, it's over like here.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he. Oh, did he shoot?
Oh wait, he shot. Wait a minute.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
See? So the rifles don't have any disco, but the handgun does?
Interesting.
That was more explicit, actually. The assault rifles.
Yeah. So
versus the
The only thing that could make it worse is if those assault rifles had Nerf or Perf emblazoned on the side of them.
So here's the thing, truthfully, about Gundam Seed. That so I recorded on VHS a portion of Gundam Seed, episode 1 to I believe 26,
Holy moly!
and I
You used to
rewatched
record stuff
those.
too?
Wait, what's up?
You used to record it off TV too?
Yeah, all the time. I actually recently got rid of all of my old VHSs that I had recorded stuff after I bought the box set. So
Oh, No, those
Yeah.
were the classic VHS.
No, it's okay.
Custom Steven made VHS. Oh man.
Yeah, I
Those are the
used to
sold.
I set timers. I recorded
Yes.
one. I wrote
Oh
wrote the
man.
little thing like on the VHS tapes to tell me like what episode of like what series was on there. I had Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon,
Dang.
had
Yep.
Gundam Seed, I had Outlaw Star.
Ooh,
had-
yo,
yeah.
let's
Yes.
go.
So,
Man, I would have
but
loved to see middle school Steven's recording skills.
yeah,
Did he
No,
get the
it was-
right? Did he get commercials? Yeah. I
yeah,
want to see all these
the-
commercials, man.
yeah,
Oh,
all the
man.
commercials, every single one.
Dude, those
But,
are treasures.
Nah, it's okay. Somebody else has them on YouTube at some point, I think. But
Hopefully.
yeah, so
God.
I recorded episode 1 through 26, and then that's when Toonami decided to loop everything. And then I think that was also when Toonami decided to shift their timetable from like the, I don't know, Saturday. I think it was on Saturdays. Gundam Seed, like once a week Saturdays. Then that's when they had the Saturday block.
Yeah,
And so
like-
after they axed Gundam Seed, I stopped watching it. So I only watched the stuff that I recorded over and over and over, basically up to the point where Andrew Waltfeld died. That was like pretty much it. And then, like 3 years later, my dad was opening up a newspaper where it had the TV guide. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'll read this in the morning. And so I read it, and I saw Gundam Seed. And I was like, wait, I thought they took that off the air. And so I looked at the time, and it was like 11 o'clock p.m. And so little did I know, they stopped doing the edited versions of Gundam Seed, and they put the unedited versions on like the equivalent of Midnight Run.
Oh yeah. Midnight Run.
Yeah. And so I woke up and I recorded for 2 weeks Gundam Seed, which turned out to be the last 2 episodes of the series.
Oh, dang.
So my context of Gundam Seed was up to Andrew Waltfeld, then Nataro getting shot.
What is this gonna be violating now? What?
Yeah, I was like, why is everything so cool and there's so many explosions everywhere? And so it was just like, okay, well, I guess Mulaflaga dies. Like, fantastic.
Oh, that
does he?
apparently.
Yeah. So that was my context for Gundam Seed for the longest time. And so I was obsessed with finding, because after they aired that last episode, they no longer aired Gundam Seed.
Yeah, it kind of just
after
disappeared
that.
after
And just
that.
it disappeared. Yeah, and I looked for it every week in the newspaper, and I never found it.
Damn.
And so I dug hard. I was on MAHQ every single day, printing out schematics and looking up like all the lore and stuff, trying to like, you know, that dude who's like doing this against the wall and you see like all the strings. I was literally that guy with Gundam Seed, trying to just piece everything together. And I didn't realize what was MSV and what was not, because I didn't watch the rest of the stupid show. And so I think a lot of my interest in Gundam Seed came from the fact that I watched a lot of stuff at the very beginning, watched the very end, and I was like, what
happened?
Where is everything in between?
All these people died and we got 3 new Gundams. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, why is the Buster now fighting for the good guys? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why is everybody in space? Why are there nukes?
Dude.
They just said there was no nukes, and now there are nukes. So,
I think you skipped a lot of the bulk that could be skipped, and you just got to the good stuff right away.
so then after that, then I finally found out about Fry's Electronics and how they had an anime section. So I purchased my first Gundam Seed DVD, and it was the Battle of Orb, because I had kept reading about the Battle of Orb, and I was like, I want to know how great this Battle of Orb is. And I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, this is great. There is so much destruction everywhere. This is exactly what I need in my life. And so, and there's only 4 episodes on that $25 disc. So I watched that disc over and over and over again. And I was like, I think I'm ready to graduate to the next disc. And I
So
moved
we go
on.
to Fry's again.
So I went to Fry's again. I bought another $25 disc. And it was right after, I think it ended with them launching off and into space
Yeah,
from
okay,
the
yeah.
mass driver and orb blowing itself up. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is great. So the reason why I like Gundam Seed so much is not because of the story, but it's because I watched these episodes over and over and over again, specifically episode 49 and 50, and I think it was episode 25, 26, and 27.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so it's like permanently, and it's not the Japanese dub, mind you, it's the English dub. The English dub is just like seared into my mind. Like I downloaded it onto my computer, converted it into, was it like an MP4 file, and stuck it onto my PSP so that I could watch that video, and then I could listen to the video as I slept.
Oh my!
And so my lullaby was just mechs blowing up and Natarl getting shot in the leg.
Jeez. Yo, the journey of Steve.
So here's a revelation, because Gundam Seed is known for like its like consistent use of flashbacks.
Yes.
Yeah. So in your case, you probably didn't even notice like all like the flashback stuff because you're flashbacking yourself, like constantly rewatching these episodes over and over again. So
well,
you're
if
doing
anything,
yourself, you're doing yourself
it
like a
helped
double
me.
whammy.
Yeah, it helped me. It helped to solidify everything. Like, and it also helped because when I watched all the newer episode or the later episodes, they would recall back tons of stuff at the very beginning or like in the middle parts of Gundam Seed, and I wouldn't really feel like I missed out on too much. So the flashbacks honestly helped me a lot in my case.
And I call him Flashback Fukuda for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, but let's be honest, if I rewatch Gundam Seed, like it's still nostalgic. It's not as magical. It's not as like, I don't know, amazing as it was back in the day, because back in the day I had the fun of like actually researching everything, of like being like, oh, there's more out there that I can go and check out. My phone's about to die, so I have to go grab a charger. But yeah, it just hasn't been the same ever since. Gundam Wing also had that same kind of magic for me, and G Gundam was also like that. So I also kind of have a special place for G Gundam, but I feel like the really cool parts with the Devil Gundam and the tournament and stuff, it didn't happen until like the very end, after they had done a ton of like, what do you call it? Reruns?
Oh yeah.
Reruns. They did a lot of reruns. Like my gosh, like I probably watched that stupid like first Gundam fight match against the Neros Gundam like 16 times. I was like, I already know what he does. He throws the canister and says, "Oh, you may have your silver feet, but I have these shining fingers." Like, I was like, oh god, I can already recite these lines. Like,
I'm ready for the playground.
Yeah.
Wait, I won't like this ever.
Yeah. So I was just, yeah. So that was Gundam in America, children.
Yeah.
It's not. You only have your YouTube. You have to wait every week for the stupid stuff to come out. Sometimes it's not even the episode you want to watch, and then you would record everything. And then your mom would be like, "Oh, I want Barefoot Contessa to be recorded on this VHS."
Oh no!
And then you just lose everything.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
You'll never have.
I'm joking. It wasn't Barefoot Contessa. It was simply Ming.
Jeez. Hey, Ming Sai's no joke, bro.
No, yeah, he's amazing. I mean, mechanical engineer turned chef. Like, you can't get any better than that.
I can lose Gundam for this.
Yeah.
It was him and Yan, man. Chef Martin Yan.
Yep, Yan Can Cook. I remember that show. I actually didn't even know his first name was Martin.
Martin.
Yeah. So what was Gundam like for you guys? Because I'm sure that it was very different for you all.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm like most of the people here where my Gundam beginnings began with Wing and Toonami and all that stuff. Because me and my brother were really into it, and I think I got my very first kit as a kid was like a no grade heavy arms, and I remember
Oh,
building it with my brother. But then like it broke really easy, and I kind of just lost it. I was like, God dang it! And then I don't know. I just went on to G Gun. Things just kind of just happened like naturally, like the natural progression of Toonami. Like Zoids was a thing still. They eventually got to like G Gundam and all that stuff. I barely caught Seed when it was airing actually, and then it really
yeah.
fell off until like 2007 when they announced Double O, and I was just like, okay, this looks interesting, and I
And
followed that.
that was your renaissance.
That was my revival,
Yes.
because Gundam was just a thing before Double O. Double O made it a special thing. Because I followed that stuff like raw, like as it was airing in Japan, I was following it to the bone.
I think I actually watched a couple episodes of Gundam 00 Raw.
Live.
Yeah, live or raw. And what surprised me was it came out in high school, and there was this girl, really shy, timid girl. And like they can be like shy and timid in real life, and then like on the internet they'll just like right.
Yeah.
So I remember talking with her, and I was trying to get her to open up, and I found out from a friend that she actually was watching anime. And online, I asked her, and I was like, "Oh, so what anime are you watching?" And she started listing it off, and then she said Double O. I was like, "Whoa, there's a girl who actually watches Gundam," and that surprised me to no end because I was like, "Wow, Gundam 00 actually has a pretty large reach," because I didn't know anybody who watched any girls, much less that watch any of the other Gundam stuff.
Yeah. Actually, I think I was pretty much alone at my school when it came to Double O. I think I was the only one that watched Double O out of like,
Really?
all my friends
Wow.
and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Now that I think about it, because I had nobody to talk to about Gundam at all. It was the worst.
Yeah, it gets lonely, man. Like
Yeah.
kids nowadays are not going to understand. I think this is turning from American versus Japan to just like
Pure
old
American
Gundam
life.
fans. Yeah, old Gundam fans versus new
Oh
Gundam fans.
gosh.
Yeah, old Gundam fans or new Gundam fans are just not going to know the loneliness
The struggle.
aspect of Gundam, of like trying to keep up something that you believe is really cool, but nobody thinks is popular.
Yeah. Like especially when because I used to watch Gundam with my brother and stuff, but he grows up, he fell out of it, and I was just like, oh gosh, now I'm just doing this solo, damn it.
Is your brother still not a Gundam fan?
No, he is. He's actually playing the breaker or the mobile one. I forgot the name.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, does he want to be my friend?
I could ask him. I don't know how active he is on it, but he started playing it, and I was like, I forgot how he started. He saw an ad for it on YouTube, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that reminds me." He was
I
telling
like
me that
this.
because I actually got him a Zaku for one of his, it was either for Christmas or for his birthday, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a Zaku. You know what? I'm gonna build a Zaku in this game." And then he downloaded it and he started playing. I was like, "What?" Because one day he started asking me, "Hey, what is like P and S and like like the power?"
Oh, it's a different attributes.
Yeah, the attributes. And I was like, I forgot. I was playing that like a year ago, and just to hear him saying that he got back on it, I was like, ooh, oh damn, okay. Sure.
I will train him.
I don't know if he's like really like active on it because he's more on World of Warcraft, and then I think he's on it on and off, but I'll let him know.
Then.
I'll let him know.
I mean, if he wants to if he wants a strong friend, relatively strong, I mean, like I'm just okay. So if he
And we
wants
saw
a
your
friend,
builds, dude. You saw your builds.
oh, he saw my builds.
No, we all. I mean, we all saw your builds. You're like almost like gold out, legend out, right?
Yes, but I don't have. I
You're not
mean,
optimal enough.
no. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
joy of this game. You just keep on growing and growing and getting stronger and spending more money and oh my god.
Hey, pure legend is like a milestone in itself. Pure legend parts, man.
Yeah,
That's
no,
that's not.
it's fine. But
Your standards are so
anyway,
high.
yeah, it has to be. But yeah, Gabe, how did you fall into Gundam?
So just like Brian, I got my start with Gundam Wing and Toonami, and I remember um, my very first exposure to Gundam was getting a Gundam. I think it was Tallgeese 2,
Oh,
like one of those like no grade 1144 kits.
yeah.
And I remember seeing it at somebody's stall at the swap meet, and
Oh, yo.
like back when you can get like anime stuff at swap meet, the good old days.
Yep.
And I remember building that, and I'm like, I like this. This is pretty cool. And like, I promptly broke it like a week after, and didn't get like another model kit until I saw an Ultron at the Navy Exchange,
Whoa.
and then begged my mom to get me that one. And so
Huh.
like those were like my very first Gundam model kits that I ever built. And then Wing came on Toonami, and I recognized like the Tallgeese and the Shenlong, even though I got the Ultron, like I saw like the similarity with Shenlong. I'm like, oh, those are those two robot kits that I got like a few years ago. So this
Uh,
is where they're from. And
Ah,
so,
so
and
you
so
got
that's
exposed before you even knew about Wing itself as a show.
yeah, like
Ah,
it's like I just saw robots. I'm like, ooh, I like like I was like very well into Robotech and Macross when I was like 6, 7 years old.
damn.
So like I was already into like the Japanese robot scene well before like I even got into Gundam. So
Hmm.
when I saw Tall Geese and Ultron, I'm like, oh, it's like, oh, cool, Japanese robots. I want these. And so I think like I think like my peak happened like during like the whole Gundam Wing boom and the whole Gundam boom of the mid to late '90s when Wing was at the height of its popularity, and Bandai was pushing it like to the point where they were even like releasing card games and the Battle Assault series on the PlayStation,
oh yeah, I remember that game. That was a fun game.
and, and they're like doing like Gundam Wings semi truck tours to all the WalMarts in America.
Oh my god.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Like I distinctly remember like the Walmart at National City because my aunt who still works there found out about it from her manager, and my one of my younger cousins and I spent the day at the freaking trailer, just camped out in front of it playing Battle Assault the entire time, collecting the free booster packs of the Gundam trading card game that they were trying to promote,
Oh my
and
god.
just like trouncing everybody in Battle Assault. Like I was literally camped out in front of the Battle Assault station, and it was literally around robin. People were coming up and trying to beat me.
Wow.
To,
Damn.
to the point that the event promoters were like actually made like an event out of me. They're like,
Oh my gosh.
can you beat this? It's like, can you beat this guy? Get 10 free booster packs if you can defeat our
Oh
champion.
my god.
And if you don't, he takes your lunch money.
Like the guy was like the guy saw me playing. He's like, "Man, you're really good at this game." I'm like, "Yeah, I played the first one, and like the second one's really not so different."
Oh,
So
you're
he's like,
playing
"All right,
Gundam Battle Assault 2.
Two.
yeah, too."
Ah, okay. I remember
So
that one.
so like he goes off to like do his rounds, and like promote like all this stuff. He comes back like 2 hours later. I'm still there, still playing, And he's like, "Have you been here this entire time?" Yeah. And like one little kid pipes up. He's like, "He's too good. No one can beat him." And he's just like giving me a look, and I just go, "I destroy them." So like after that, like for like the rest of the day, he's like, "Yeah, it's like if you can beat our champion here, we'll give you 10 free booster packs." So
Jeez. Whew.
like I became like an unsolicited part of that experience. And my payment was like an entire box of booster packs.
Oh
Wow,
my
so
god.
you still have those booster packs?
Oh no, that was like back when I was like fifth or sixth grade, so they're probably long gone by now.
Let me see. Where are these Gundam trading card? How's there a Gundam trading card game that I not know about?
Dude, that was
Gundam Wing trading cards.
Gabe was doing GBN before GBN was a thing.
Yes.
He was the champion
Oh,
before.
are you talking
Amazing.
about? Are you talking about these?
Let's see it.
Because I have
Some of them.
so many of these.
I didn't
think
even know I was collecting it too.
If I didn't,
Are you talking about these ones?
Yes.
Yes. I bought the whole box. I have the entire collection of these.
If I remember correctly, it didn't really last that long.
I used to sell these on the playground.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's exactly it. The upper deck trading card game.
These weren't even trading cards. These were just, I mean, they weren't even a game. They were just
that
cards.
That card with like the Wing Zero, or the foil ones right there.
Oh, these ones. Oh, the MS Wars.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
this
was a
is
trading
completely.
card.
Yeah, this is a trading card game. This is not what I had. I had the actual just trading cards, like
That you don't play with.
you
just
don't
collect.
play. Yeah, you don't play with them. You just collect them. They're just like scenes from the show, and they have descriptions in the back.
Mm,
You know.
And they're like sometimes like foil stickers.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had really cool translucent ones. I thought those were really cool. But
Like the ones you get out of the trading card vending machines at Asian markets.
Yeah.
Kinda something like that. Oh yeah, I remember I had this. They had good art on these cards. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one that you got as a kid, they were
MS4. The MS4.
Endless War.
MS.
Or MS War.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, MS War. So these ones.
Yeah, those right there.
This game is still going on too, right?
Is it?
Not to my knowledge, but maybe.
Time to revive it? Just kidding. Board game. No. It's just a.
If I remember correctly, it didn't
last.
really. I don't think it really.
Released 2001.
Yeah.
Cause what's it called? What is in Re-Rise? What is Avalon guy?
That's a tri-age. Because there's
The Titan? Or Tri-Age?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a
That's
tri-age.
But that in
Arcade game.
itself is a card game too, ish, right?
Yeah, it's like a card game.
TCG.
There is a. Is it this one? Gundam War? Is it this one? I think it's this one.
Yeah, it's that
This
one.
is the
I
one
think
I
that's the currently one.
Yeah,
MS War, I think, was the one that was released in
2001. Yeah. There we go. Starter deck. You can get Zex.
Starter deck. The
32
Zex
game
machine.
cards. Yes.
I call my deck the Zex machine.
Wait, do you? Oh no, that's what Cross War.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Dude, I don't even know anymore. There's so many card games. I just get confused.
I know.
Yeah, I think MS4. I think they just brought over MS4 to capitalize on Wing's
Success.
Popularity.
Yeah.
popularity at the time.
Yeah.
I can see him do that.
All right, so here's the last topic for today. What really is the difference between Japanese fans and American fans? So I'll lay this out. I think American fans are more violent. So they like their IBOs, they like their your Gundam Wings, double O's. I also think that the Western audience is not as exposed to Gundam. So when you look at their buying habits, they like to buy main suits and things that look like tanks, like we were saying before. Like it's got to be like super militaristic, tactical, or it's got to be a main suit. And if it's anything in between, it's probably not going to sell too well.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it's the opposite. In Japan, they have all the stuff, so they're like, I want to get something unique. And so then they buy all they'll buy all the weird shit, like the Palace Athenes, or the Masalas, or the Brondocs, like all those things.
The Juagus and
Japanese fans are UC fans, and American fans are alternate universe.
Maybe, right?
I will concur. There's a lot more UC fans in Japan than there are in America. Americans tend to like their alternate universe stories.
And it's funny too, because you think that Americans would like the UC because that's more realistic-y, modern, future-esque, war-ish. Like that's the most they're gonna come to like blood-ish.
But then again, I think
out of most series.
I feel like a lot of the Gundam fans I come across like UC.
Yeah.
The only thing that I notice is that UC is very intimidating. So for people, for like that really long, in-depth, like kind of history stuff. So if you're not into that, you're not really going to want to dive into UC like at all. And so
UC, in my opinion, as far as like the Western community is concerned, was a very it progressed with time because like all of us said, we were either introduced to Gundam through either Wing or Seed or anything like that, and for a long time that was the only Gundam that we knew. We didn't know anything about it unless you were like exposed to it previously.
Yeah.
And a good example, which they brought up in one of my favorite podcasts, Gundam at MAHQ, when Gundam Side Story Rise from the Ashes came out on the Dreamcast. It was like one of like the first UC games ever released in the States on the Dreamcast. And I'm guessing Bandai was trying to capitalize on the Gundam boom, like, oh hey, Battle Assault did well, let's start releasing other Gundam games in the West and see how they do. So they brought over Rise from the Ashes, and that's a UC story. It's set like in 0079, I think.
Yeah.
And you don't even play like a Gundam. You basically just play like a grunt suit. You're playing a GM. You're like a GM team, like the White Dingoes.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like the people, unless you were like a Gundam fan, you're like, it's like, oh, that's cool. But then like the people who got introduced with Wing and saw that it was a Gundam game, they picked it up thinking, oh, cool, I'm gonna be playing like the Wing Zero and blowing shit up. And then they're like, what the hell is this shit? Why am I playing?
Grunt.
Yeah, I'm just a grunt. Why am I playing like some junky old robot? What the hell is this 1 Year War? Who's Zeon? What's this Duchy of Zeon that's the enemy? Why do they look like Nazis? So, in a way, having Wing be the first Gundam that Westerns were exposed to was kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, for sure. Because especially when you go from like the high quality of Wing, and then you jump into Mobile Suit Gundam, which I think premiered after that. It wasn't after G.
Like,
it's kind of off-putting.
For me, I think it premiered after Wing because like Gundam, the original, and then 8th MS Team, and G Gundam were all kind of intertwined with each other. For me, right after I watched Wing, I jumped straight into Mobile Suit Gundam, and I loved it a lot. So I probably remember a lot more of the original series because I kind of almost grew up with it more than I really should. And so I think that was another reason why I actually had a great affinity towards Seed, was because it went away from the Terrace giant rifle blasting energy beams to a more like this is a war between two people. There's no real good or bad, and lots of people are dying because you have small guns. So, like,
actually, you know what, Gabe? You might really like this, but one of my first Gundam games I picked up on a whim, and I didn't know it was gonna be like the way it was. Zeonic Front.
dude,
Oh
Zeonic
my
Front
god,
was
that
such
game
a cool game.
was so cool. Like I didn't think it'd be like it was gonna be so tactical like that. Like I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna pilot a Gundam and just like wreck stuff. But no, like that game was kind of really hard if you don't like plan out your moves and all that stuff.
Because
you're
that
playing as
game,
the
like, because it really capitalized on like, oh, you're on the Xeon side.
yeah.
You're on Earth. You're not your element. You gotta like scavenge all your resources from your battles so that you can keep up, with like the Federation forces.
Yeah.
So like you literally had to have like the mindset of like a guerrilla warfare scavenger type was like operation thing.
Oh
So
my gosh, that was game. And then like the biggest like hurdle, you actually have to like scout the white base, and you have to go against the Gundam. I
God.
never felt so powerless before. That was the worst. I got stuck on that mission, and then I found out, oh, you just toss a bunch of smoke grenades, and then you scan it, and then you run like hell. Oh man, those were the days.
Yeah, the game that I played was Journey to Jaburo. When that game first came out, I bought that. As I remember, I was away from Camarillo and I was visiting my aunt at the time, and I was like, I need to get this game. And I forgot about it because we just like watch cartoons and stuff like that. And we went to Toys R Us and I saw it. I was like, I totally forgot this game came out. I need to buy it. You know what the dumbest thing was? I was in NorCal at the time. I didn't even have a PS2.
Oh no!
But I bought the game. I stuck it in my backpack. I waited the week until I had to go back home, and I played the crap out of the game. And then I got stuck on was it level 3?
Oh no!
I think that was when you had to fight Char in the dark, and I was like, "How is a 10-year-old supposed to get through this? This is not fair. I know exactly what happens. We just need to get GAW attack carriers." But I can't call on them.
Ironically, like as far as like UC Gundam games, my very first UC Gundam game was actually Char's Counterattack.
Oh shit!
Char's Counterattack was not a PS1 game, was it?
It was.
Was it?
It was like the precursor to like all the Virtue series. So it had gameplay similar to, let's say, Encounters in Space.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Classic.
So yeah,
Nice.
it had like similar gameplay to that, but like you had like, if I remember correctly, like it followed like the storyline of Char's Counterattack, but then there's like you could like branch off into like different directions. Like you could save Chan,
Oh.
and like, which is great because I hated quests. So like the opportunity to kill Quest and save Chan and like bitch slap Hathaway was like the best thing I could have ever done.
This is the real ending. Sharp's counter.
Yes.
Damn it.
I remember I would rewatch this opening all the time though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was my very first UC Gundam game, and by God, like I was playing it in Japanese. I had to disc swap it like so many times because I didn't have a modded PS1.
Oh, yeah, those are the...
And this was like the best exposure to Gundam I've ever had. Like going from Grandpa to the new Gundam, it was like, oh.
Oh my God.
In many ways, it kind of reminded me of Omega Boost.
What was that?
The gameplay for Char's Counterattack, it kind of reminded me of the other PS1 classic, Omega Boost.
Omega Boost. I don't
Yeah,
think I've heard of it.
I don't think I've heard of that either.
You guys never heard of Omega Boost?
No.
Omega Boost. Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
I might need a.
I think once you see it, you'll probably recognize it.
I don't even
But
remember
like-
hearing about it.
The gameplay kind of was like 3D, or it was like 3D movement around the, like, because you were like they really like fighting in space, so, like, it was like a 3D movement, and the camera perspective was from behind a Gundam, I believe, if I remember
Oh.
How
correctly.
do I not? No, I'm watching gameplay right now. I'm surprised I never heard about this game. Because this would be something I would totally freaking play too. Oh my god, my childhood has been a lie.
Because I don't think this was ever released in the States.
No wonder why.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I don't think
Yeah.
Bandai released this particular game in the States. Like, I literally got this from a friend in middle school. He just burned it onto a disc for me.
You lucky bastard.
That explains it.
Damn it. Oh, it looks so cool. What the hell? No, I would totally play this.
Ninja, bro. I remember X-Play giving this like a 2 or 3 out of 5.
They were not nice
Yeah.
with anime games. It was
No.
even on TV
I
we were
mean-
getting bullied. Damn it.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was hard being a Gundam fan
Yeah.
back in the day. Like, okay, I'm gonna put dates
Uh-oh.
because who knows who when people are gonna be watching this? They'll be like, "Oh, back in the day, you mean like 2015?" No, I mean like 2000, like
Yeah.
like
Coming
2000.
freshly out of the 90s, man.
Keep
Gosh.
Yeah.
in mind, your viewers, we're old. I'm probably the oldest out of the 3 right now, but yeah, we're old.
Yeah, I think
I
you
think I'm the
are the
youngest.
oldest out of the 3. Yeah, but yeah, it was hard, man, being a
hard.
Gundam fan, especially when your parents didn't know what it was, and like you had no other like Asian people being around to like help guide you. You just have to look up all this crap without the internet.
Yeah.
Honestly, without the internet, I would not be a Gundam fan.
Yeah.
That and VHS tapes. If I didn't have VHS tapes, I would not be a Gundam fan. I remember the first Gundam Wing episode that I ever watched was the last episode of Gundam Wing. It was terrible. I had no idea what was going on. He just blew up a colony and he flew up. And you were just like, he's the savior of outer space. I was like, okay, cool. This is a show I can probably buy into. Let's see what the next episode is. The next episode was episode 1. I was like, what's going on? He was just in outer space.
Why is the suit different?
Yeah, why? Why does it seem like an episode 1 sort of deal? And my brother was just like, I don't know. And it wasn't until afterwards when we went to Hawaii and I had all of my older cousins explain things to me. And I was like, oh, this is a cool show. I'm going to watch this now. And I think this was like when I was like in like 3rd grade. So what was this, like 1999? 1998?
Yeah, look at that animation.
Dude, this animation looks good. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, look at this. Then he's going to hyper jammer it. Oh, look at that. You can see the
Oh my
sparks
God,
on
the
his
hammer?
fingertips. Yeah. Oh, look at that. And then for some reason, he just decides to ditch the hammer and just crawl on top of him and shoot him with Vulcans. Oh, look at that. That's just beautiful.
I'm getting like serious reboot vibes right now.
Yeah, me too. Well, I mean, that's kind of a lie. I would have reboot vibes if I actually watched this stupid series.
Damn. Reboot.
Commander Shar. There you go. But yeah, I would watch this over and over again. Actually, it was because of this game and because of my tenacity of trying to beat every single stupid level that I finally knew what the white dingoes were. They actually had really great little side story stuff. Oh, this? Oh
Oh,
my
that
gosh.
video?
We're gonna watch this.
No, that video is so good.
I love this video,
That's-
man.
I remember this one. I
Oh,
was seeing Gundams I've never seen before. I was like, what Gundam is that? And I never knew until like years later.
so I would buy. So what's really interesting is that you guys all started on model kits. I actually started on the MSIAs.
Yes.
And the MSIAs,
Yes.
I bought
Oh my
all
God.
of these. I bought all of these figures. And then when I saw this opening, I saw them animated. I was like, this is so cool. I'm so glad I bought these.
Gosh.
Yeah, he had all these
Oh.
MSVs going on. And I was like, this animation's so good.
Top
Why
notch.
do we not have this on TV? And they had all the pilots standing and not dead. Like, look at that.
Blue
That was
Destiny.
so cool. Oh man,
Oh
that was
my God.
that was great. This was a great opening. And I would just watch this opening over and over and over again. That's fantastic, man.
I think that was my first time I was exposed to the Alex Gundam. And I always thought its wrist Gatling guns were like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, no, it was so cool.
Oh my
I just like
gosh.
its colors, man.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, I'm just putting it on while we talk, but yeah, man, I always thought
This
that the Alex Gundam was really cool, and I'd not watched War in a Pocket until
Yeah.
2015. I owned the Alex
Holy
Gundam
snap.
figure since I was 11, since 2001. And it took me
Why
14
did it take
years
you so long, man?
because I already knew all the scenes. Like I already knew what happened and stuff.
Oh.
And it was a 6-episode anime, so I was like, okay, why do I need to watch this? And then I watched it, and I was like,
God.
this is good, but why did I need to watch this? I already know all the
Oh.
famous scenes. Actually, that's
Bernie!
what, yeah. But see, I have no affinity to him. I just know hamburgers, and I know Santa Claus, and that's all I needed to know. And that was kind of the thing.
Damn,
Most of
man.
my Gundam experience was just merchandise and just reading the packages and learning the lore that way without actually watching the show. And the few shows I did watch, I had a great affinity towards them. So like original Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, and that was all I really needed, I think. Back in the day. I mean, I watched a lot of 8th MS Team. My brother loved 8th MS Team. We watched the Shuddering Mountain? I think it was like episode 12, part 1 and part 2. Basically the episode where he fights the Goof Custom. We watched that one over and over and over again. We were like, man, this is so cool. Like he rips off his arm. That was like, what? That blew our minds, man. He was like smacking that thing around, and then we thought that was like the coolest thing. My brother loved the Goof Custom. I remember like as soon as we went to Chinatown, he was like, I want that model kit. And I was like, darn it. He picked the good one.
Is that a Saku brother?
Yeah. No, he really liked the Goof Custom. He thought it was the coolest thing. And so it wasn't actually a while until there it is. There you go.
Speaking of Goofs.
Rat-tat-tat.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm getting so distracted.
I mean, this is
I haven't seen this opening in years. Oh my god.
Why would you just stand there looking at the Goof while it stabs you in the neck? Like, why would they be running in front of the mech? It's okay. It's dramatic effect. It's fine. They don't know any better.
It's Zeon propaganda, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it's games like these that made me appreciate the grunt suits like a lot more.
Yeah.
It made me like want to have just like look at how cool that Zaku looks, man. Then you watch it in the show and it looks all super goofy.
And like they don't have the guns like they do like right now. Like what the hell?
Like, yeah, if you just
Like-
look at it, like, it looks so good.
Oh my god.
Seeing all this Geon love.
Even though it's like Xeon.
Yeah, like, even though it's a Xeon game, you see like a glimpse of a ground type Geon, and you're like, oh baby.
Actually, yeah, when I remember watching this initially, I did not like the Zaku's because I was like, oh, they're the bad guys. Look at him pompously throwing his fist up in the air. Like, yeah, I was
Like-
I really like the gyms like a lot. Oh, what the heck? There's a special movie. All right, we
Yeah. No, it's like the history of like the whole
can Xeon. Yeah,
Xeon thing.
yeah. I
Oh,
think
you
I
know,
watched them
This is a
independently.
law.
okay. You know that game is fire because the Gundam is inflamed.
Yes, it is. Yeah, this animation was like so good. It is used for every lore video I've ever watched on YouTube. Some part of this movie is often utilized, especially by Kakarot 197.
Yeah.
197. Yeah, he's a really big UC fan. And I mean, I really appreciate the UC stuff too. So I'm happy he does it for us.
Man.
Yeah, we're not gonna watch this whole video. I
I know. I'm
We just-
gonna go
we just
watch
threw it
after
up.
this, but
yeah. Yeah, I just threw this thing on.
you're hitting that nostalgia really hard for me right now. Like, oh my god,
Yeah,
this is how
We
I
just,
found out about UC.
right. Yeah, I don't want to be demonetized. Our last video was demonetized because we were watching the SD Gundam thing,
Oh.
and I looked at the notifications and they're like, "Oh, your video is demonetized. It doesn't affect any of the publication stuff at all. It just means you can't earn any money from it." And I'm like,
That's
"Oh,
fine
did someone
with us.
flag us for something?" And it actually shows the hyperlink of like what exactly it is, and so it says SD thing, and I was like, "Oh,
That's crazy.
wow, okay, well, I guess YouTube is smart." So all right, but cool. That was a nice stroll through memory lane, and we totally did not talk about Gundam American Gundam fans versus Japanese fans as much as we thought we would, but we did talk about old Gundam fans versus new Gundam fans a
Yeah.
lot more. But yeah,
So it's like lesson learned, viewers. We like to go on segues, and sometimes they just take over the subject. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, you're just coming for the ride. I mean, you're just coming for the really long Gundam ride. You don't even have to pay.
come for
Free
the
admission.
come for the conversation, stay
just-
for the
yeah,
cookies.
Yeah, just come on in, man. Like, just it's all good. The water's fine. But anyway, I think we're starting to close in at our 12 o'clock mark. So unless we got some closing comments, then we're gonna wrap this thing up here.
Did you want to follow up
But,
with the what was next week?
Yes, I think we are gonna follow with what's happening next week, because next week, Friday, is Gundam 00 Awakening of the Trailblazers 10th anniversary.
Mm.
Anniversary.
It's been 10 years since Trailblazer. Holy moly!
And let's
Time flies.
let's get that back up. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's actually older of the Trailblazer of the Rebellion. What the heck? Of the Trailblazer.
2010 sounds about right, honestly.
All right, and so we have Dr. Wikipedia right here. The film premiered on September 18th,
Oh my
2010, and so it will be exactly 10 years since
Next
the
week.
movie premiered
Next
next week. And so we are going to try to do a watch party, and I have no idea how those logistics are going to turn out.
We'll figure it out.
We hope that everybody can tune in for that. But yeah, let's I guess we can talk a little bit as a preview for that, right before the 12 o'clock hits. What was your favorite part of the Gundam 00 movie?
I mean, undoubtedly, along with everybody else, it's probably when Zabanya and Haru went all out in that last battle. Oof. And Shoutouts to Grandmaker and the Braves.
That was a
Oof.
good scene. Yeah.
Yep. They're the ones that saved them and led them into glory. We didn't actually get enough Quanta in that movie. He kind of just blocked something. He shot his beam out, then he disappeared.
You're right. It's surprising how popular the Double O Quanta is for how little it actually had screen time. You saw it initially at the very beginning when they're like, we need to get this Gundam to Setsuna. And then it just opens up and
Opening
goes,
music.
doon, doon, doon. And then after that, you just see Lock-On come out of nowhere after Alleluia. And Soma
acrobatics?
Pierce come up. Yeah, and then and they're just like, this is the GN 0000000 Quanta. And you're just like, why did he just say Double O Quanta?
And then we got like half the movie with Double O Riser with a condenser, and it's just like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you guys, and then it didn't work.
Right.
And it happened twice.
Yes.
I'm
so
trying
we
to
actually
talk to you guys.
had more Riser throughout the entire thing.
Quanta, yeah.
So if you need to pick a main suit for Gundam 00, it's just the Riser. Just pick the Riser. If you need to pick between the three, it's the Riser. I mean,
Yeah.
think about how much screen time the Riser actually had.
If you want to see the Double O Quanta in action, pick up a Super Robot Wars game or play Maxi Boost On.
Honestly, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree with Gabe because I had no idea what the capabilities of the ELS Quanta were until I watched clips from the Super Robots game. And I was like, this is obviously my favorite suit because I love overpowered crap. Like, it can heal, it can teleport, it can create its own gun. Like, I mean, like you can't beat that. It's Devil Gundam with feathers.
Or better yet, if you want to see the
wings.
Double O Quanta in action, build your own.
Oh,
Yes, you could.
there's a lot of forms of Quanta, man.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not gonna do that. I'm gonna need a lot of silly putty if I'm gonna make my
Silly buddy. My ELS Quanta, damn it. Not the regular Quanta.
Yeah. So how about you, Gabe? What was your favorite moment of the awakening of the Trailblazer?
I'm gonna be brutally and bluntly honest with you. Seeing Sheeran again.
Sheeran.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's like seeing her with Marina again in like the opening scenes when the terrorists tried to take over the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
That was it. As soon as I saw her, I'm like, that's it.
That's it.
I'm satisfied.
That's it.
Everything else is just
We're
extra.
done. Movie over.
Waifus are real.
I'm done.
Waifus are real, man.
I'm done.
That's it. I'm done. Review will be up in a few minutes.
Take the money. I don't care.
It's like I'm so glad I pre-torrented this.
You know, that actually was a great scene though, because you know when Setsuna swoops in with the flag, with the overpowered flag that was supposed to have a model kit that year, but they decided, nope, we're just going to withhold this from the public.
That's so bad.
That was a great scene, and I thought it was super cool, and I wish we had more. So,
yeah.
Did she actually appear in any other part of the movie? I'm trying to remember, and I'm having a really hard time trying to remember.
Pretty much any scene with Marina.
But I don't remember there being that many scenes with Marina. The only one that I can recall is when they're like helping out children, and then
she was there too.
And then when she's old.
Oh, except that part.
Yeah. So like couple of scenes, probably less than Quanta. Definitely less than Quanta.
Less than
Quanta. And Gabe is sold. That's gonna be our benchmark.
Ooh.
Do you? How much screen time did this Gundam have before it started selling model kits? Less than Quanta? Okay, we have to talk about this.
Exactly. I mean, because like, nah. I mean, like, just my reason is just purely superficial. Because Sharon was like my favorite character in Double O, even though she didn't really do much. She was just eye candy. You know, it's
Get
like
it? You get
it's
it?
like
The
she's the
waifus are
A to
real,
the-
bro.
she's
Yeah.
like she's an aide to the princess. She's an aide to a terrorist organization. She's an aide to a princess again. That's all she does. But as soon as she sees her on the screen, and you look at my face when she shows up on the screen, and like my eyes just light up. I have this big stupid grin on my face.
So what I'm hearing is that if a Gundam Girls Generation figure of Shirin comes up,
Oh my god!
This?
you're gonna drop heavy money on
Oh,
all the different outfits.
you have no idea.
Every single outfit. Dude,
Oh,
could
no,
you
don't-
imagine?
Don't pitch
you
that.
imagine-
That's dangerous, Steven.
Could you
That's
imagine
dangerous.
if there was a model kit, Gundam Girls model kit of Shirin, just in like, I don't know, flag, like a flag Shirin,
Like,
or
shit.
like a Jinx Shirin. I don't know.
You're like, are you like trying to give me sweet dreams? Because I'm about to like go to sleep for work tomorrow, and
I mean, it
that's
sounds
not fair,
pretty
Steven.
sounds
That's
pretty
not-
good to me.
That's not
Sounds
fair.
pretty good. Sounds pretty good to me, man. I think you should turn this into reality. You can. I believe in you. I believe in you. We just need to find a frame arms girl with short brown curly hair
No,
How hard is that to do?
No.
and glasses. You
And
can make
glasses.
those glasses. You can make those glasses, man.
No, I could just get I can just get Rinko's what's it
You
called,
can get
figure ice
Rinko.
written-
You can get Rinko, and you
Yeah.
can paint her hair brown and give her glasses
Exactly.
and take the lipstick off. She has lipstick, right?
Does she?
That's
I don't
for
remember.
sure.
I have to look this up.
I know. Well, I mean, we could save it for next week, and then we'll
Save it
confirm
for
whether or
next
not.
I can only take so much.
Is her name Captain Rinko? I don't know.
Captain Rico.
No,
No.
give our viewers a visual of why I like this character so much.
What? Oh,
Just type in Sharon Bakhtiar and just show them the magic, and we'll leave it at that for tonight. But here's Brian. He's like, "Oh, what was your favorite part of Awakening Trailblazer?" And he's going on about like Zabanya and Harte like going ham at the final battle, and no mention of Raphael, you dirty little bitch. And
I mean,
and double
Tyria got shafted too. Honestly, I do like the Raphael and
Yes.
the Cenobi and the Cenobi.
Yes, best girl. Look at that. That deadpan stare that just says, "I'm unimpressed with you, but I appreciate you." And then, goddamn, when she appeared in second season, she had the long hair. I was like, "Oh, I will gladly join your terrorist cause." And then she appears in Awakening Trailblazer, back to short hair because she's prim and proper and she's back with the princess, but she
She
still has
does-
the deadpan stare.
she wears it a little differently.
Yeah.
Her neck is a little bit thicker.
Because she worked out.
Yeah, she looks very dainty.
Give me that full body. Yes.
Full body.
Gabe's getting bothered.
Oh, baby.
That might be the
You
movie. Damn, they even have a movie version.
know,
I mean, they need to, right?
No, I
You know
mean
that
like
scene-
a full one like model
Yeah.
The body shot.
body shot. Yeah, body shot of a movie where she only appeared for like less than quanta.
Oh,
That's gonna be a
jeez.
new term. Less than quanta. More
Less
than
than
quanta,
quanta.
less than quanta.
Actually, jeez. All right.
It's like,
How
you know
many minutes was Quanta
Double low quanta.
on screen?
You know that scene from the movie Assassins when Antonio Banderas is on his laptop and then he sees like the bounty and he goes, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo." That's me whenever I see Sharon.
Yes. Dude, do we not have one?
I don't
Is
think
there-
anybody was keeping track, honestly. But
Oh,
everybody
man.
knows. Everybody knows it got the least amount of screen time.
Oh, you know
So-
how we can? This is how we can tell.
Oh my god, we're
You-
not gonna
No.
spoil this yet.
No.
Oh, I'm just You know,
Steven, don't do
Quad
it.
the scenes.
all I'm gonna look up. I'm not even gonna play the video. I just want to look at the time. Oh my gosh,
Rival of the double.
does that say 28 seconds? 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
That's
No,
even less
stop,
than Quanta. That's
I
even
think this
more
is-
less. There.
I think it's
that,
2 minutes. 2 minutes and 49. 2 minutes
is-
and 49 seconds.
No.
Wait. Unless that's that info one.
No, this is the info one. Info one has a minute and 23
Oh
seconds.
my god.
I was gonna
Do
say.
I-
I was gonna say. I will equip myself with a stopwatch as we're doing the 10th anniversary special of
Dude, oh
Awakening
my gosh.
Trailblazer.
Can
And I
you
will
please
actually
do that?
time it.
Can you please do that? Because
I will. I promise you.
Can each of us just grab a Gundam and and just time it to see how many minutes? Oh, you know what? You know what has less time? Probably the Dynamis.
Oh, the repair. Yeah.
The Dynamis repair. Do you know if that one has a model kit?
No.
I don't think it does.
No,
I think
it
we're
doesn't.
safe with that one.
Because the Dynamis it's just the Dynamis without the GN
No,
drive.
it's not. Nope, it's not. It's a little bit different.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I was looking it up one time.
Really?
I think it's called the Dynamis Repair 2.
Yeah, it's called the Repair 2. But it's like it's using condensers instead of a GN drive.
No, go back.
That's 3. That is completely different.
Yeah, go back. I don't want you. Go away.
It's piloted by Tyria. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
shields. The shields are, yeah, they look a little bit different.
Did it have the shields?
Yeah, it does. What's funny is that it's not very noticeable. Okay, let me see.
Oh, because it's like
There
from
you
an
go.
angle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's glistening in the sunlight, and so you think this is just a shadow,
Green.
but it's
Yeah.
actually like, oh no, it's actually gray, and you're like, how was I supposed to know that? And
No,
then
how
the
the hell are you
next
supposed
scene,
to do that?
That's so
the
hard.
next scene, the next scene is when it's in shadow. So then you're like, how was I supposed to know that? And you know what the last scene is? The last scene is of its backside.
It looks like the Dynamis to me, man. I could have
I mean,
fooled me. It did
You're
fool
not.
me.
Let's be honest. You're not going to be noticing this because you're just coming off of like the Gundam version of Stephen King's Christie going on with a bunch of like heavy equipment. You're not going to notice all these little subtle differences with like different color shields and the dynamics. So technically, it's like you can hear like angry comic book guy explanation. Technically, that's not the dynamic. That's actually the dynamic Repair 2 because it has different shields.
Like, this is the funny bit. They're supposed to look transparent.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even
Oh,
notice
yeah?
this part. It's supposed to have a
What?
holster as its backpack. It's supposed to have it's supposed to have the handle of a revolver as its backpack.
Because that's a condenser. What?
Yeah.
Unless that.
These are
what's
like
it called?
trial images, I guess.
It's. Yeah.
I don't get it, man. Like, what the heck? Who's this?
The
this
first
guy?
version of Zabanya, actually.
There it is. There it
What
is.
is
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that plexiglass. Okay.
That's the Vaga.
Now I
That's-
feel like getting a master
No,
grade Dynamis
that's-
and bastardizing it.
yeah, that's Dynamis.
Repair 2.
Repair 2. No, repair. Repair. Dynamis repair. There was no repair 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's being redundant kind of thing. But
I think its
didn't you-
rifle's a little bit different
didn't-
too, isn't it?
Wasn't
No.
there a repair? Didn't you just click on a repair 3 first, or no?
I think so. Dude,
So there is a repair 1.
no, that one's called the repair. I think they just
Repair
skipped
3.
the repair 3. Because I'm looking, I'm like, oh, wait, there is a repair 2. But the repair 2 is not what we looked up before. What the heck, man?
This is so confusing. Give me the
Why is
2,
there no-
damn it.
It just
It
skips
skipped
over.
2. There is no 2.
This stupid son of a...
Don't you
What
know
is
how to
this two
count?
you speak
It's
of?
0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So stupid. Unless, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna stop before my brain explodes. What?
But do you guys remember like Proto Zabanya in the trailers? It didn't have rifle bits. It had like pistol bits. Do you remember
Oh,
that? And
actually,
then like
yeah,
the
I do
Raphael's
remember.
like hands, like it's like hand cannons were on wires.
I kind of remember that. I think they captured it on Gundam Wiki. Let me see.
Proto Zabanya. I think there's still a trailer for it, honestly.
Wow, there's a lot of people really like the Zabanya. Holy crap.
Told you.
Fan art. Gunpla. Zabanya. Actual Zabanya, an early design concept with small weapons containers. Oh, is this it? Early design? No. This is just the manual.
I think I found the YouTube. Here, post the YouTube to your things. Show it. It's a YouTube video. That's it. And like skip to like 40. See that's where your designs are from, man. That's where the repair one was.
Yep.
There you're.
I mean,
Or the
I
repair
guess
two.
Quanta didn't change. That's good.
Really didn't change.
The Jinxes didn't really change. That's good. Oh, overflags didn't change. Nice, nice. Appreciate that a lot.
The Braves.
Oh, there's the wires.
Yeah, the
There
wires.
you go.
It looks so different. Like, oh my god. It's like it lacked so much armor, and I think it was gonna be more pistol at first.
I like how they put the extra effort into Zabanya and Raphael. And then for Harut, they're just like, nah, you're okay. 2010. Holy crap.
I think the Quanta did more in that did in
Shut up, man. All right, cool. But I think that
it did more than Quanta.
I think we've effectively whetted our appetites for next week. So I'm very excited to be able to watch it with you guys. Yeah. At the very least, we'll have each other.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be super fun, and we can all talk about it a little afterwards. But all right, well, thank you guys for joining me on this new edition of Gundam Podcast. I really need to do better at naming these series, but thank you, Brian, and thank you, Gabe. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right.